Welcome back to the channel, everybody. We have a lot of big moments coming up, it seems. This article right here, let's jump right into it. Why not? This article right here is titled, Ripple CTO Breaks Silence on XRP Ledger's Next Game-Changing Moment. Are you ready? Because I definitely am. I've been ready. I was born ready. So you got big things coming up for XRP and XLM. Very interesting times we're in. It says, in a pivotal development within the XRP Ledger ecosystem, Ripple CTO David Schwartz has broken his silence on the ongoing vote to implement an automated market maker protocol on the Ledger's decentralized exchange. Responding to queries and disputes from the XRP community, Schwartz addressed concerns about the prolonged voting process, which seems to be fueled by disagreements among XRPL validators. I'm going to tell you the same thing I told Stellar. Make it happen. You and I both know automated market makers is huge. We need it. We want it. What's the problem here? I don't understand it. Put the arguments up against having an automated market maker absolutely just in beast mode, popping things off. At least that's what we've read. That's what we've heard. We heard it's supposed to be like a shot of steroids to the XRPL. Correct me if I'm wrong. Listen, throw a Mark McGuire in there. A lot of you youngins don't know who Mark McGuire is, but if you lived through our era of baseball, then you know who Mark and Sosa. Mark and Sosa made baseball very interesting. But anyway, steroids, Mark, some people get it. Addressing questions from the community. Yeah, and I like Mark McGuire, and I said it. Yeah, that was a hell of a time to grow up, just knocking home runs. Man, everybody thought they could hit home runs back then. We didn't know they were on the sauce. We didn't know that. We're at the park trying to hit it like Mark McGuire and Sosa. Oh, man. And don't forget Piazza. Throw Piazza in there also. But anyway, let's get back to the crypto. Come on, man. You guys always throw me off. Stop it. All right. Addressing questions from the community, Schwartz engaged with an XRPL enthusiast who raised 3 crucial points for the proposed automated market maker amendment. These included ensuring XRP's presence on one side of each new smart AMM, accepting deposits only from accounts with valid/approved DID codes, and enabling both AI and Oracle functionalities. Schwartz clarified that automated market makers do not generate transactions. Rather, they provide liquidity when interacting with user-initiated offer, create, and payment transactions. You know what, man? Listen, big shout out to David Schwartz. And he's been putting in a lot of work over the years, bringing a lot of clarity to things. He doesn't have to, but he does anyway. He's been someone very, very special just in crypto overall, in my humble opinion. And I greatly appreciate people that are like him, that are willing to share information. Anyway, it says here, why not is the next section. It says, however, another validator expressed reservation citing performance issues such as network instability, the lack of so now they're elaborating on what I asked about before, the problems. It says, and the lack of a fix for the online_delete bug. Oh, so there's some problems or something? Is this legit? Anybody out there, let me know, is this legit? It says Schwartz, ever the problem solver, suggested a straightforward fix for the online_delete issue and proposed experimenting with dynamic self-tuning for increased efficiency. So there you have it. If he's giving you a fix, implement the fix. Get it done. I don't understand that, but we'll see how this all shakes out. But this is very interesting developments. At least we're moving forward. We're having some dialogue and we can iron things out, right? Everything moves forward a little bit more. It says automated market makers, the crux of the amendment, facilitate decentralized exchanges by pricing assets algorithmically. That we know. So let's move on to another little bit of information here because we have a lot of news to get through today and we got some exposing. I'm not exposing anything. People talk too much and they're exposing themselves. You're going to see that later in the XLM chapter, right? So stay tuned. Now, this next article here is titled Massive XRP Movement as new wallets accumulate 883 million XRP. Muy lindo, mi gente. That's a lot right there. That is a lot. It says a series of recently activated XRP whale wallets have accumulated 883 million XRP worth in excess of $454 million within 4 hours. What? Triggering speculation among investors. Okay, well, talk to me. What's the speculation? What do they think? Because I don't know. I would love to know what they think. It says, whale alert. Why do they do all this extra stuff? They write all this extra stuff. You just reference the people are speculating on it. Let me know what they're saying. Well, let's keep going. It says here, whale alert, a leading crypto whale tracking platform highlighted the cluster of whale movements. All right, as they always do. $25 million XRP transfers. The first transaction saw the transfer of 25 million XRP worth $12.9 million at the time from a Bitvavo wallet to a new XRP address. It says the fund movement was used to activate the recipient address as it marked its first transaction. Shortly after this initial transaction, 4 more Bitvavo wallet addresses transferred a series of 4 25 million XRP transactions to new addresses at different intervals. This is interesting. It's very suspicious, to say the least. Besides the 25 million XRP transactions, 5 more transfers involving over 100 million tokens occurred within the 2-hour time frame. What do you guys think is going on? So far, this article isn't telling me anything, right? So what do you think is the reason for all of this? It says one of these transactions saw a transfer of 196 million XRP. All right, then they go into all the different individual transactions. There's a lot of stuff going on here. Okay, so finally, they have a section titled Possible Interpretations. Hey, Crypto Basic, you don't think you could have put that at the top, buddy? You don't think you could have put that a little earlier? I'm interested in what the people have to say. This is Possible Interpretations. It bears mentioning that when such large whale movements occur, market participants quickly speculate if Ripple is behind them. The firm, let's do a little bit of, I'm just going to throw my own thoughts in here. So you see the market crashed, right? They crashed everything through the control mechanism that is Bitcoin. And I had said, I think it was about other cryptos as such, those who know, right? And then you see things like this happening. Let's put 2 and 2 together. Right. But it's just my humble thoughts. Right. It says the firm typically moves large amounts of XRP for several purposes. However, despite much investigation, the Crypto Basic could not find any link between the recent transactions and Ripple. I don't think it's Ripple. You know how many institutions are interested in XRP? I mean, you have so many things coming up. Before the bull run pops off, it wouldn't surprise me that they're trying to get some XRP. If this is the case, they're trying to get some XRP for an extremely low price when the market, corrected, to a great degree, and they can get things for a great discount. It doesn't surprise me at all. It says, nonetheless, the movements could signal an accumulation spree from whales. That's what I was just saying. Why, at this time where things are low, and I'm not sure how much I think towards the tail end of 2024, I don't think things are going to be this low anymore. So they're going to make some money. Despite what retail thinks, the whales know, and they're going to try to make some money. They're going to get in at this low when they think it's a reasonable area, because I'm not sure how much more prices can go down. Can they go down more? Sure, they could. But I think I don't know how likely it is, because you see how Bitcoin in the market went down. Right. And they're really pressing the people. But just there's a lot of hodlers. There's a lot of people who know what they know. They believe in their path and they're just holding. So it's going to be increasingly harder to bring those prices lower. You get what I'm saying? Through the traditional methods that they use. So I think that some may have that understanding and say, you know what, let's get some stuff for the low right now. But who knows? That's just my speculation, not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. All right, let's move on to this next article right here. So, of course, we have to keep up with the SEC versus Ripple case, right? This is one of the big blockades in the way. And this article is titled, Ripple is Wrong. SEC rejects Ripple's baseless claims. Everybody's wrong but the SEC, right? The same SEC that allowed all the banks to involve themselves in various bad activities, because a lot of them had certain legal things going on. I'll say it that way. And then you saw what's happening with JP Morgan, right? I showed you that the other day. And isn't it you, SEC, who says there's misconduct, right? So while you're just hawking on crypto, you're letting everybody else just run amok, just rampage on the people and do a whole host of bad things. Like, SEC is the biggest hypocrites on the planet, but my apologies. I'm just sharing a little bit of my opinion. The SEC have rejected Ripple's objections to financial data demands, calling them baseless and crucial for penalties and future compliance. That's nonsense. It says here, the gloves are off in the ongoing courtroom clash between the SEC and Ripple Labs. In a fiery new court filing, the SEC has rejected Ripple's objections to its demands for financial statements and sales contracts, calling them baseless and crucial. Why do they reiterate things 2-3 times? Let's skip that part. They say the same thing they said at the top twice already. It says SEC doubles down in Ripple case. The latest salvo marks a significant escalation in the legal saga, which centers around the SEC's claim that Ripple's XRP cryptocurrency constitutes, well, we already got past that. It's not a security, but it says, while a recent court ruling favored Ripple on the core issue, the SEC is doubling down on its pursuit of remedies, arguing the post-complaint information is essential for crafting appropriate sanctions. Now, wait. Daily Coin, are you doing your homework? This is about institutional sales at this point. Correct me if I'm wrong. Correct me if I'm wrong, people. This is about institutional sales of XRP. XRP itself already has clarity, right? It says Ripple had previously objected to the SEC's request for its audited financial statements, claiming it was irrelevant to the case. I'm on the outside. I'm not a lawyer, and even I believe it's irrelevant. Now, listen, I call a spade a spade. Now, if this was relevant, I say, okay, they have something here, but they don't. I don't care who you are. If you're right, you're right. If you're wrong, you're wrong. The SEC, in my humble opinion, is wrong here. That's just how I look at it. It says, however, the SEC counters that a defendant's financial health what is the standard in calculating penalties? Considering all the court cases that we've bear witness to where the people were not, their companies were not in good financial health, and the SEC proceeded to just destroy them anyway. Like, how do you say something like that? But it says, Ripple, quote, Ripple argues that the SEC's requests are untimely, they are, and cites the initial April 2021 scheduling order as contemplating only one discovery period. It says Ripple is wrong. Subsequent developments have made clear that this initial order was not the last word on discovery. They're losing. They're just trying to drag things out. The SEC is one of the most petty, time-wasting institutions of all time. And there's a section here that says no escape for Ripple. While we've been destroying the SEC little by little, I mean, come on now. The SEC further refutes Ripple's argument that the information about post-complaint I told you, institutional sales. Post-complaint institutional sales is immaterial. The regulatory body. That's why I didn't understand why at the top of this article they wrote all that about XRP. It's like, this is about institutional sales, not the regular movement of XRP, regular sales of XRP. The regular body contends that examining these contracts is vital to assess the likelihood of future violations and ensure Ripple adheres to the court's order. Dismissing, no, they're just being petty. They're just trying to stick it to Ripple and give them a hard time, drag things out a little bit more. You know, dismissing Ripple. Listen, if Ripple wins this case, right, they close this out. Everything can go absolutely insane. Let's say it goes absolutely insane. Ripple itself is doing well. XRP skyrockets. I mean, it would be the biggest sword through the evil heart of the SEC that anybody could ever render. And others would follow suit. Others would believe more. They would lose so much power. That's why they're fighting tooth and nail. They've already lost a lot, but they're trying to. They're doing anything it takes to drag this out before that final victory, you know. So now, that final victory by Ripple, right, and crypto overall. But let's move on here. We got a little bit of Algorand news. All right. Let me move up the Stellar news because I wanted to do the Stellar news before the Algorand, but I had it all the way back in the back of the tabs. It says here, Algorand Ventures invest in Gora Network. I don't even know what a Gora Network is. Do you? So let's find out together. We can learn together. We grow together here, guys. Algorand Ventures has recently made a what the heck? What was going on? Bro, what who timed this pop-up? Who did that? I'm reading an article, right? And then this get your newsletter pop-up just is like 15 seconds after I click on the website. This pops up and just blocks the whole page. Like, come on, guys. You got to time that a little bit better. Make that a little bit smaller, by the way. But anyway, let's continue on now that I clicked it off. Algorand Ventures has recently made a strategic investment in Gora Network, a next-generation oracle. Built on the Algorand blockchain. This investment signifies a crucial development in blockchain technology, particularly in the realm of decentralized oracles. Oracles play a pivotal role in the blockchain ecosystem, acting as bridges between blockchains and external systems. They provide smart contracts with access to external real-world data, a necessity for many blockchain applications. We know that we're very, very familiar with that. This is a good move. This is very interesting. Algorand continues to do well. They continue to move forward in strength. I'm happy to see that as an Algorand supporter. I still stand with Algorand. And, you know, we see oracles doing very well. Like you look at Flare. I hate to keep bringing it up, but they impressed me with their Flare time series oracle. I believe that's what it's called. Correct me if I'm wrong. But the whole thing that they're doing with Google, I mean, just look at the future of that. Looks very interesting. I'm still keeping my eye on them. It's just so interesting. So you have them trying to connect everything. That's what Flare says, right? They're the main oracle that pops into my mind. My apologies. Then you have all that staking going on. So you have like the staking of Flare. Then you have the W Flare. Then you have delegation on there. Then you have the whole Songbird thing where I'm pretty sure you're staking Songbird as well, right? So people are staking Songbird, but then Songbird uses the Flare Time series oracle as well. So then that money would necessarily, I think Songbird's liquidity adds to Flare, right? The direct main chain, right? So then, that's such an interesting dynamic there, that dual dynamic. Anyway, let's get back to this. That's the oracle that pops into my mind. Gora Network, designed as a decentralized oracle network, aims to empower blockchain applications with reliable and secure offline data. So good job, Algorand. So did you watch this stellar video titled, it's a 17-minute video, titled Digital Transformation Inside MoneyGram International? You see, I told you Stellar is sneaky, but in a good way. The implications of this video are huge. Why do I say that? I got a little sticky note. I had to write some stuff down. But at one point in this video, they're talking about how long MoneyGram and Stellar were talking and working together before the partnership was official. And what did they say? They had been talking and working together before the partnership was official for 2 years. 2 years. They know how to keep things quiet now, don't they? Those non-disclosure agreements, whatever it is, maybe it's not that. Maybe it's just a handshake. Whatever it is, Stellar is great at keeping partnerships quiet. So if they were sitting and being patient and waiting, so if they were waiting 2 years, people, 2 years before announcing the MoneyGram partnership, how many other big partnerships do you think they're sitting on right now that they've been working on to bring them to perfection before they make an announcement, before they make a launch? How many do you think they're sitting on right now? I think quite a few. They're just working and making it better. They even go in this video, they even talk about how they were talking at first, and then there was something about interoperability that was a problem with MoneyGram system, not ours. So then Stellar went in, and I told you they're going to customize everything. This is why interoperability is going to be one of our greatest weapons. So they had some sort of problem. Stellar went in and customized something that they called the Stellar adapter, created that, added it to whatever they were making for MoneyGram. And then this is the MoneyGram guy talking in this video. Go watch it. You can watch it for yourself. And then he said, after that, everything flowed so smooth. They're very happy with the product. I mean, so then you think about that customization aspect. If all these companies want something customized, you need something to connect them. Through customization, you're going to have siloed systems. That equals big money for us. That means there's a lot of volume. There's a lot of connecting. There's a lot of capital that could flow across us, information that could flow across us. It makes the importance of Stellar that much greater if they have to connect everything, right? So that's not it. So they expose themselves that they keep a lot of partnerships extremely quiet. They're not going to tell you until everything is already just completely done. I know how that sounds, but some people announce things early on. They announce them early on, and then you get to see the development of that partnership, right? No, they said we worked on it, and then when they were ready to release it, boom, they released it. So now we know how Stellar operates psychologically. They confirmed the sneaky Stellar that I usually call them, right? It's not a bad thing. It's not a bad thing. Keep doing good, Stellar. All right. So that leads me to close. Let me close out this thought. That leads me to believe that they're sitting on a lot of big announcements. Possibly. It's not a guarantee, folks. I don't work for Stellar. I don't know anybody at Stellar. It's just my thoughts. Okay. Not financial advice, but that leads me to believe they're sitting on a lot of big announcements, just like the MoneyGram one that they've been developing for years, just waiting for the opportune moment to unleash them. Why would they do it any different? There's a consistency to people most times, especially in business. But now, so we talked about the 2-year thing, that being exposed. Then we talked about the Stellar adapter. Oh, so then the MoneyGram individual talks about they wanted to clear up that crypto wasn't putting MoneyGram out of business. Now, when I hear that sounds like a lot of what other financial institutions have said. They have this fear, right? So they it's like somebody, how could I put it? It's like when you're about to fight somebody, right? And they're not the best fighter. So they start talking trash, trying to puff themselves up to seem tougher and sound tougher than they really are. But we both know, it's like I saw you sparring. We know that you're not built like that. I saw you wrestle. I saw you throwing punches. I saw your jab. I know you're not built like that, but they have to build themselves up to believe they're as good as you, right? That's what it sounds like. So he's talking about let's make it clear, or he wanted to clear up. They wanted to clear up at some point that crypto wasn't putting MoneyGram out of business, which shows you how strong we are. That's what I take from it. We are strong. Haven't I been telling you that? You heard Christine Lagarde say that even the central banks were worried about crypto rendering central banks useless and irrelevant because we do have that power. They need us. We don't need them. We are in a power position. This is my humble opinion. You could make up your own mind, feel how you want. I'm not here to convince you, but let's be real about it, MoneyGram representative. Before you congealed with crypto, we were dominating. You were not dominating. You needed us. You congealed with us. Stellar helped you. You didn't help Stellar, right? We could do it without you. All we have to do is put wallets everywhere. I mean, there's so many different ways. Wallets everywhere. We have decentralized exchanges, automated market makers. We have all these different things. Smart contracts are coming. We've just been building. MoneyGram, besides us adding to you and helping you, you remain the same, which means the power is with us. With Stellar, which means Stellar has an insanely bright future. We saved you. We saved you. Let's be real about it. Just tell the truth. That's what I'm looking at. But let's close out that thought. Now, what does that mean? We saved the MoneyGram, which means that we're probably going to save many others are looking for us to save them, which is a great advantage. That means they're going to come to us. They're going to bring that money to us. It confirms what we've been saying. They're weak. This is what it shows. The legacy system is weak. They need crypto. They need bank coins. They need utility coins. That's what it shows. There was so much exposed in this video. It was unbelievable. All right, but let me stop right there because I want to get to this little bit of Solana news. I don't want to leave Solana out. Oh, my word. Have you seen this Solana FUD lately? What's going on, man? Anyway, this article here was posted on Solana.com. Solana has such a bright future. It's unbelievable. They definitely made a believer out of me in this last year and a half. And it's titled, Token extensions enable native support for enterprise-grade use cases. Let's scroll down here and find out what's going on. It says introducing token extensions, the newest iteration of the Solana token program. Built in collaboration with large regulated institutions, token extensions use a standard interface to connect to Solana applications, allowing the creation of specialized tooling and functionality at the token level. The result is plug and play, regulation friendly, versatile token functionality that significantly decreases engineering time and resources. And you know that these big companies, and mostly the big companies, are the ones who have been praising Solana for the last 5 to 6 months. You can just do a Google search and you can see the articles for yourself. Big money individuals and big money companies praising Solana. Solana is going to pop off in the future. My humble opinion, not financial advice. All right. And these are some of the reasons why they continue to innovate. They continue to move forward. They continue to be the best of the best. They're not resting on what they did before long ago. No, they're continuing to accelerate on this trajectory. If the bull run pops off, Solana is going to be one of the biggest winners this is my humble opinion. I think that's how I feel about it. So I'm just going to read a few of these categories here. It says the first token extensions were included as a part of v.1.17 release, and they have confidential transfers here, transfer hooks, transfer fees, permanent delegation, metadata pointer, permanent delegation. Let me read that for a moment. I'm interested in that. Permanent delegation allow a program to have irrevocable authority over a token. That's interesting. Automatic subscription. Oh, okay. Oh, I see. Okay. Automatic subscription services. Ooh, that's interesting. Updating real world assets to reflect reality. Stablecoin regulatory compliance with freeze and seize orders. I told you, these big companies, these big banks, these governments, they want stuff like this. Freeze and seize orders. Just let that marinate for a minute there, bub. So metadata pointer, default account state, non-transferable token. So, hey, listen, Solana is on fire with these updates. It's very fun to watch. Let's move on here. I was going to do an SEC article, but let's skip that. Sometimes it excites me to talk about that, right? Sometimes it just bores me. I don't like to be bored. I'm going to tell you that right now. So we're going to end off today here with a little bit of IMF news. So this is from WSWS.org, right? And it's titled IMF, the IMF, folks. I've been talking about this for 2 years. We saw things get really bad in 2023. This article is titled IMF sounds a warning on commercial real estate. Now, once again, and I said this about the banks, I believe it was in yesterday's video, which is a great video. If you didn't watch that, the XLM and the XRP video, give that a watch. I thought that was a pretty good video. But I said this about the banks. Sometimes I focus a lot on the US banks and the European banks, and it's easy to forget that all the banks around the world are in a dire state right now. They're doing very bad. And the financial system is not only drugged down by the detriment, the denigrated and bad state that the banks are in, but the shadow banks as well. Now you have commercial real estate about to go to a very dark place that they should not want, because it will collapse. Multitude of banks. We will win if that happens. Gold will skyrocket. Crypto will benefit. And I think that when these banks go down next, and I don't have a crystal ball, I don't know when they're going to go down. I just believe that they're going to go down because they're in such a bad state. But if they go down, I think crypto should take advantage of it. I do. Jump on that opportunity. Let people know, hey, there's an alternative out there to this banking system. And here it is. It's us. It says here, the International Monetary Fund has added its voice to those expressing concern about the state of the global commercial property market in the face of elevated interest rates, particularly in the U.S., the largest such market in the world. So if the IMF is saying that, you already know it's near. They always come in at the last second, right? So they can say later, we warned the people. Well, people like myself and other economists have been warning the people for a long time. I know I just cover crypto here, but, I do a lot of other things. But we've been warning the people for a long time. I don't know. They don't hear us. It says in a blog post issued last week, it noted that commercial property prices there had, quote, tumbled 11% since the Federal Reserve started raising interest rates in March 2022, erasing the gains of the preceding 2 years, unquote. Well, it's easy to erase gains that are fake. It says it described the fall in commercial property prices as, quote, striking, unquote, and reported they, quote, have plummeted more in the present monetary policy tightening cycle than in previous episodes, unquote. Once again, if you pump everything up and you have this false liquidity out there, then pricing is going to reflect that. But as companies, you should have known that. You did know that, but you took advantage of it. You just didn't think the Fed was going to do what they did. And they had to, because they have to save their own backsides. They have to save their own skin. So they acted on that. I will say it wasn't very decisive at the time, but they did what was necessary. And you suffered for it. The companies suffer for their foolishness. How else could I put it? One of the factors involved is said may be the steep pace of the monetary tightening. Yeah, and there's some of the ones that hope that, the Fed starts cutting earlier as well, even though the Fed has been telling everybody, and it would be more wise for things to stay higher longer. But hey, it says a rise in the Fed rate from near zero to around 5% in little more than a year, which contributed to a sharp increase in mortgage rates, definitely, and interest on mortgage-backed securities. There was also a slowing in private equity funding, which had been an important source of funding for the sector. So now that you have that information, what are you going to do with it? I know what I'm going to do with it. So until next time, everybody, let's get to the money.